topics and powered by the Red 5 Network. For more, visit red5.bio.link. Good morning. It's Monday. I hope you had a good weekend. Did you have a good weekend? I had a great weekend. Yeah. I had an amazing weekend. I played golf for the first time in my entire life, and I really enjoyed it. Do not tell my super cool friends because they will make fun of me. I have always made fun of golf. But I had a really great time, and I'm going to play it again today. So, stuck on that. I don't know what else to say about that. It's really cool because this new leg is pretty great. Man, I'm just doing all kinds of stuff. Have you tried this walking thing? Have you guys tried this walking thing? It's pretty great. The walking thing is pretty great. I'm kind of digging it. Yeah. There's not a whole lot of stuff going on today. So just give you a heads up. We're going to open it up to the chat. Drop a super chat and give me a topic and we will discuss. We will Linda Richmond this bitch today. We will go full on coffee talk. That's right. We'll coffee talk it. Anywho, before we go any further, do be a huge solid. Let the algorithm overlords over at YouTube know that you enjoy the content that I'm putting out there. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new, ring the notification bell to get notified whenever I'm back with even more of this nerdy nonsense, and consider joining the channel as a member. This Thursday, we have our very first members only watch party. We're calling it Throwback Thursday Theater, maybe Throwback Thursday Theater. I kind of like that. Triple T, Throwback Thursday Theater. Members only watch parties. We will be watching Hercules, The Legendary Journeys at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am so excited. I have not watched that show and I don't know how long. It's been like a million years. So I'm really excited. It will be up on the screen. You can watch along with us. You can chat along with us. Very stoked. Okay. And don't forget, Friday will be look number 2 for the Halloween season. So you don't want to miss that either. Yeah. And Fridays we talk about Peacemaker. Of course, this week is the final episode of Peacemaker. Season 2, the entire series. I'm willing to bet it's going to be the last episode of Peacemaker, the series. We'll talk about that in a little bit later, possibly. However, let's yell good morning to the chat. Of course, members in Super Chats get their good mornings first, and then we say good morning to everyone else. But everyone gets a good morning. Everyone gets a good morning. If I get out of order, I apologize. It's not my fault. Okay? I'm old. Okay. Good morning, Lieutenant Penny! Good morning! Good morning, deranged lunatic! James Gunn says, if you have a problem with Peacemaker, you're a racist. Well, he had to jump on some bandwagon, didn't he? Good morning, Lieutenant Stackhouse! Yeah. I just love saying that. Good morning, Lieutenant Stackhouse! Say it again. Say it again. Are those the only members we have right now? They are. Okay, good morning, Patricia! Good morning! Good morning, Ansuho! Well, it is actually 12:30 a.m., so that would be morning. Wherever you are, that's technically morning. So, good morning! Where I am, it is 10:37 a.m. So, good morning, Music City Soul! You are first in the chat today. First in the chat. Remember, you guys can pick topics today because there really isn't much to talk about at all. All right, guys. So let's dive in to some headlines. Grab a little sip. Mm-hmm. Thank you for the repost, Sean Stackhouse. Oh, look at the picture. Love it. I really should change my profile pictures. But on places like Twitter, it's kind of an ordeal. And now I'm just unbelievably gun shy of changing my profile picture since the last time I did on Facebook. They accused me yet again of impersonating myself and locked my page and will not let me appeal it. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Penny. Walking whole course or riding golf course? Bit of both. Bit of both. And thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll give you a little curtsy, little bow. I like to do both, because I can. It feels good. It felt good. Normally I have to time my walking, like I'm kind of on a clock with my leg, but with this new leg I don't have that. So it felt kind of silly to walk all the way back to the cart when I could just walk to my ball, cuz let's be real here, I'm just learning. I am not good by any stretch of the imagination. It is a little ridiculous to watch me play. Okay? I don't hit them very far. So I really don't have that far to walk. So I'll be doing a bit of both. And it's a nice little place. It's not the most. Listen, if Happy Gilmore was to become a member of a country club, this would be that country club. Shout out to St. Francis County Country Club. And thank you again, Miss Penny, for the $2 super chat. I really, really appreciate that. It means a lot. Good morning, Jalen. Good morning. Sean Stackhouse, did you see that Amazon added the guns back to all the I did not see that. I did not, but I did have on the list in my stories that they removed them. I will look into that. I absolutely will. Okay, so I have a couple of topics. I'm going to throw them up there. So first, if you are big fans, and I should have my Halloween stuff out, right? Like, why don't I have this? Normally, I'm so on board with the Halloween decor, and I'm just, where do I put it? Here we go. There's one. Here's another. There was a lightsaber chopstick. I also have this is why I started doing this, because we started talking about Game of Thrones, our first topic, and I have this really awesome three-eyed raven right over here. So I figure we need to bring out the three. He's a little dusty. She a little dusty. Anywho, I am a huge fan of Game of Thrones. Honestly, I'm a fan of Song of Ice and Fire books. I've pretty much given up on the idea that we'll ever get a legitimate ending to it. Thank you, George R.R. Martin, for the worst case of writer's block anyone has ever seen in the history of anything. But huge fan of the books. I mean, seriously, the world building, it's just pristine. It's so beautifully done. He's done such an amazing job. I would love to pick his brain, but also terrified at the same time. Oh, look, it still kind of works. That's amazing. We'll save this for another time. It's, the setup here is so weird now. Anywho, huge fan. Love House of the Dragon. Love all of it. Really do. We don't talk about the final season of Game of Thrones. We just pretend it didn't happen. But there is a new spinoff coming. No, it's not Jon Snow with the wildlings. Not what we wanted it to be. Of course not. But it is a good one. It is the prequel, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It is about the legend of Duncan the Tall, who is an ancestor of Brienne of Tarth, of course, who was portrayed by Gwendolyn Christie. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I think I've read that one. It's been a really long time. We're talking like 15 years. But it's a shorter one. Very short one. I mean, especially considering in comparison to all the other Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire books and stuff that are out there. That is going to come out in January of next year, and we have our very first poster for it. Now, he was initially called Duncan, or he had, what is he? His squire was the egg because he was bald. So the poster says a tall tale that became legend. So looking forward to it. Hope it's good. Fingers crossed, because, you know, they build up a lot of hype for things these days and we just get let down. Duncan the egg becomes Duncan the tall. Looking forward to it. Again, huge fan of Martin's work in Westeros and Essos. I would love to hear more about Essos and, is it Southos? I mean, he's got a whole freaking world. I mean, really, there is so much more involved in this world than you realize. So many stories, so many, like, there's so much myth in the book, you know, like I don't want to say the culture, but yeah, the culture, but like their own culture and myths and religions and stuff. I find that stuff absolutely fascinating. Fictional religions and mythos and stuff, like Tolkien, like what Tolkien did. He basically created a religion and language and stuff. I find that stuff fascinating. Klingons, oh my God, Klingon history, and get lost in that. Mandalorian history. I was talking about the history of Mandalorians with Star Wars Meg a couple weeks ago. We actually we recorded a stream together. I have no idea if and when it's ever going to come out. Honestly, she's a very busy lady, but we talked at length how we both thought that when they were talking about The Mandalorian before it came out, that's what it was going to be. I would absolutely love a series about the history of the Mandalorians, starting with the Tong. The Tong were like a reptilian, almost praying mantis looking alien race. That's what the first Mandalorians were. They were an actual alien race. And then eventually they kind of became like Mongolians or Romans. They would just collect more into their culture, into their system and community. And they end up fighting the Jedi over Coruscant. It's just really fascinating, really rich. It reads like actual history. It's just mind-blowing to me how human minds can come up with this stuff. It really does blow my mind, and it really inspires me to attempt to create my own, which is something I've been trying to do. I need to put some of it up on the Patreon so you guys can see it, and give me some feedback, please. I have had the script for my first comic book up on the Patreon for months now, and not one person has given me feedback on it. I need feedback to function as a human. Thank you. Love you. Mean it. Jalen says, I wish we had more middle-age fantasy stuff. Like, you mean medieval? I would love that. That is my favorite thing. I swear, my favorite era, I guess. Listen, I'm not a huge gamer. There's just a couple games that I enjoy playing. It really takes a lot for me to like get involved into a video game, but I love The Sims. I've played The Sims since like 2000, since it came out. And every time I build a world in The Sims, I build it, I use a lot of custom content, which is probably terrible for my computer. I build a medieval world, like, entirely. Fascinated with it. Fascinated. And I'm pardon me, hold on one second. I'm absolutely fascinated with authenticity. Fascinated. Because there's certain things that the UI and The Sims, they have to have. So I will spend an entire day, like lose an entire day, just hyper focused on finding a medieval looking toilet, like a privy. It's insane. But I love medieval based or inspired fantasy. I love medieval history, like actual medieval history. I will get lost in that. I absolutely love it. Patricia, Klingon history is wonderful. Love it. You know how much I love my Klingons. I know how much you love your Klingons. Love, 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 love Klingon history. Love their religion, Kalas. It's so rich and fascinating, and I mean, honestly, very deep. It's so complex and deep. Lot of love. Lot of love. I always think about Jadzia and Worf's wedding, because nothing can withstand the beating of two Klingon hearts. So good. So good. Jalen, so far it's just sci-fi, superhero, period piece, and whatever. I want more swords and magic. Yes. And can we just leave the magic alone? Sometimes magic is just magic. It doesn't need explanation. It's just magic. Just let it be magic. Hey, good morning, Loki. You should play Kingdom Come Deliverance. See, the thing is, I don't know if it's ADHD. I don't know what it is, but I will hyper focus. I have incredible focus. If I like something, then I can't do anything else. And that becomes a problem for, work. So if I really like it, that could be a huge, huge, huge problem. Sean Stackhouse, I wish The Sims would have released a middle-age expansion pack where you could build a huge kingdom that would have ruled, dude. Okay. I know. And back around The Sims 3, was it? They released The Sims Medieval, but it wasn't it wasn't an expansion pack. It was a whole game. And it wasn't really like The Sims. It wasn't open world, which sucked. It was okay, but wasn't open world. And let's face it, when you play The Sims, you want that open world sandbox feel. It wasn't a sandbox game at all. And then a couple of years ago for The Sims 4, they released a castle kit, which was just a couple of build buy items, meaning it was just some walls. They had some walls and some windows, a couple of doors. That was it. Like, that was not enough. No, I want an entire medieval kit. And I want the religions that they had in The Sims Medieval. You had Jacobin and Peterin. And they would pray like this. Oh, it was crazy. They had like this little obelisk and they would go like this. And their religion was us. We were the watchers. I loved it. It was fantastic. I want more of it. Please, 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 please. What do we have to do? Like, first of all, everything's up in flux with The Sims 4. The game is just broken, almost beyond repair at this point. Like, I have no mods installed right now. Put the new expansion in it. My Sims can't get married. Like, there's so much shit wrong with it, and they won't fix it. We're like, hey, new kits. We're getting bought out in a year and a half, but new kits for your broken game. Good morning, Hunter. We're doing new topics for super chats because there's really nothing to talk about. All right, so apparently dunking the egg got us on a tangent about medieval and video games. So if you have any questions, comments, emotional outbursts about this first poster for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which comes out January 2026 on HBO Max, leave it in the chat below. We're going to move on. Sean Stackhouse, Lieutenant Stackhouse. I would even take a SimCity based on that time. Then I highly recommend Manor Lords. It's on Steam. I have that game. It's very hyper realistic. What's that? Real Engine, whatever. Yeah, play that. Manor Lords. You'll love it. You'll absolutely love it. It is medieval SimCity. You're welcome. You're welcome. Pardon me. Thank you, thing. I wonder if I could just get him to sit there. Okay. Alrighty then. So Famke Janssen says she will not return as Jean Grey in Avengers Doomsday. I'm really excited to see it when it comes out. Just like everyone else, I'll find out those storylines and how it all ends up. This is coming from Screen Rant. Now, remember several months ago, we talked about Chris Claremont was doing a panel and he was leaking all kinds of stuff. He was leaking all over the place about Doomsday. And he said that she was coming back. So this could be entirely a misdirect, honestly. And listen, I am a huge supporter of human beings being allowed to do whatever the hell they want with their faces and bodies. It's their face, it's their body. They're the ones who have to live with it, not us. Do whatever you want. I genuinely, it's not my place. It's not anyone's place to tell anybody what to do with their face and body. I mean, honestly, seriously, it's not. But this poor woman, I think when someone does have way too much done, like a little maintenance here and there, I've had a little Botox done before. I mean, it wears off after it's been years, but a little maintenance here and there. What? Who cares? Again, it's nobody's business, really. I'm not ashamed of it whatsoever. It's maintenance. No big deal. That's one thing, right? But I think when someone goes like over that edge and you know what the edge is, you know what it is when you start to look plastic. When you go over that edge, I think it's indicative of a much deeper internal issue, severe anxiety, depression, issues with self-worth. Something else is going on. But I saw some recent pictures of her and she's definitely gone that direction. And it makes me feel very concerned for Miss Janssen. Like, what's going on in her life that she feels that way? I mean, serious cheek fillers. I mean, really hardcore Korean glass face situation going on. Absolutely unnatural. Poor thing. Like, anytime I see something like that, it's more of a, oh, I just want to give you a hug and talk to you and tell you, like, look, at least you didn't have to get up at 3 a.m. and put on 3 different things just so you could go to the bathroom and not pee yourself. You know, life could be so much more difficult. I know you're on camera, but anything I say is just going to make me sound like an asshole, I'm afraid, you know, when you talk about this stuff. So I'm just going to stop. I just feel bad for her. Loki says maybe she's CG in it and doesn't even know yet. That is a concern. Because from what we're hearing, Fran Drescher, when she was president of SAG-AFTRA, she kind of gave away the store when it came to AI and stuff. Big time. And so there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Sean Stackhouse, like, share. It's worse. It's worse. Worse. Worse, worse, worse. Good morning, Fernando. Good morning. So there's that. Is she in it? Is she not? I don't know. Chris Claremont said she was. Chris Claremont said she was. So, good morning, Omari. Maybe. I do feel really bad for these women, especially the A-list celebrities who have to go through that. You know, listen, I'm not looking for sympathy and I'm certainly not saying that I'm some kind of whatever, but I am a woman who's on camera at least 5 days a week. My face is out there. I've got like over 2,000 videos, so my face is out there, and at least once a day, I'm getting some kind of critique or comment or crap about my appearance. I have a giant forehead. I'm fat. I'm old. Like I don't know. Okay. You know, I don't care if I'm not attractive enough for you to want to, touch your no square too. I really don't care. That's not why I'm here. That's why I don't have an OnlyFans. That's why I have YouTube instead. Okay. But if that's what I'm dealing with on such a very, very small, non-existent scale, then I can only imagine what someone like Famke Janssen or Sophie Turner deal with on that kind of scale. And not just that, but they have studio executives, directors, agents saying, you know what, you should really lose about 5 to 10 pounds. You know, you should really get this kind of tucked a little bit. Like maybe talk to someone about your bat wings, your skin's getting a little loose. Normal aging stuff, it's making us lose money. You're the product. That's a lot. That's a lot. And that definitely attacks your mental health. I mean, hell, I'm in therapy just for being a cripple. I can't imagine, the kind of therapy I would need being that kind of a worldwide, everybody knows your name celebrity. I don't know how I would survive that. Oh, I don't know. Sean, I hope not. Famke was a better gene. Omari, now I've got a critique. You need more tattoos. Oh, I really don't. There's a few I wish I could cover up. It's a family stream. I never said that. I never said that. Anywho, we'll find out if she's in it or not. But I do hope she's happy, healthy, well adjusted. And I wish all the best for her. I do. I feel bad that she felt like she had to go to those lengths. Like someone made her feel that way. Something made her feel that way. And I hate that. No one should feel that way. No one should. All right, guys, if you have any questions, comments, emotional outbursts, leave it in the chat below. We're going to move on. For those who just popped in, we're going to do a bit of a super chat led stream. There is not a whole bunch to talk about today. If you guys want to drop a super chat with a topic idea, we'll make that a topic. But at the, towards the end, like we usually do, we will hit our main topic and discuss that. So If you have an idea, drop a soup. Let's see what's going on. All right. Until then, I'm just going to kind of scroll through some Twitter stuff. So this kind of made me cackle. I mean, he's not wrong, but he's also wrong at the same time. Like, dude, you poor baby. Ridley Scott says most new movies are shit, so he's rewatching his own films instead these days. This is coming from Variety. The quantity of movies that are made today, literally globally, millions, not thousands, millions, and most of it is shit. I think a lot of films today are saved and made more expensive by digital effects because what they haven't got is a great thing on paper first. Get it on paper. But he spends a lot of his time watching his own movies because, hey, they're great. They're not that great. I was not that impressed with Gladiator 2, Ridley. I just wasn't. See, Loki, Ridley Scott made Prometheus and Gladiator 2. He knows shit when he sees it. Oh, precisely. Oh, the grandbaby's there. I'll start watching my mouth. I'm sorry. So, watching your own movies over and over again, isn't that kind of like self gratification, self no square? Isn't it? Come on, dude. Listen, do you want to know how many of my videos I have rewatched since I've uploaded them? Zero. Zero. Why? Because why? Why? Why do I want to sit and watch myself? First of all, I think my voice is annoying. I don't know why you listen to me. I will fixate on all of my imperfections. I have zero interest. I can go look at myself in the mirror if I super want to, but just rewatching your own content, it feels so self-involved and self-important and just weird, Ridley Scott. I mean, there are other great directors of the past you could be rewatching. Why rewatch your own? Are you saying you're the only good director of all time? Like, you're it? You're it. There's nobody else. Scorsese, Spielberg, Carpenter, just idiots, amateurs. Like, come on. Good morning, Dom Riley. He's 80. He's rich. He doesn't care. Excellent point. Look, he's out of line, but he's right. Excuse me. I mean, he's right that movies are not great these days and that you need to get something great on paper first. We've been saying this forever. We've been saying this. But to sit and rewatch your own movies, that just sounds like the worst, flimsiest excuse you could possibly come up with. You know, movies are just terrible these days, so I just watch my own. Wow. Fernando says soon actors are being replaced with AI, like the AI actress that I see making the rounds. I don't know if I've actually seen any of her work yet, but I have heard about it. And I do know that that was Fran Drescher's crack negotiating skills that made that possible. And a lot of actors are really mad about it. Deranged Lunatic says, I guess he's saying my stuff is so good. It's only stuff worth watching. And that's exactly what he's saying. That's precisely what he's saying. And he completely forgotten, or he just had a total Freudian slip, like that mask just kind of went, you know what? Fine. I'm just going to take the whole thing off. Spielberg, whatever. I'm talking about Ridley Scott and Ridley Scott only. All right, guys. If you have any questions, comments, emotional outbursts, leave it in the chat below. Let's talk about Amazon. Let's talk about Amazon. Good morning, Breezy. Breezy says, have you heard about the first AI animated movie, Critters? Has a budget of $30 million and looks awful. I have heard about it in passing. I haven't read into it. But if you have an AI generated movie, why do you have a $30 million budget? How do you not have a $5 budget? If the whole thing was AI generated, how do you have a $30 million budget? And he says it's looks awful. Of course it looks awful. It has no soul. If you AI generate everything, there's no human soul to it. What a bunch of crap. I'm going to have to look into that, though. $30 million for an AI generated film. Why? DL says, do we have to talk about Amazon? I just got off the phone with them about an unexpected charge. Well, you know the rules. If you want to change the topic, don't make me say it. Okay, but for those who don't know, okay, this is the news, DL. Okay, I didn't make it. I'm just here to report it. Amazon Prime removed all the guns from the James Bond posters, then stealthily took artwork down after online backlash. Stealthily, huh? Stealthily. Well, it wasn't too stealthy if we'd noticed. He seriously had Amazon Prime Video has quietly taken down James Bond artwork after getting backlash online from fans who spotted that 007's gun had been airbrushed out. Last week, artwork from the franchise was spotted on the Prime Video UK website, in which across each film image where a gun had been previously displayed, Bond had effectively been digitally disarmed. In several cases, such as Dr. No, GoldenEye, and the iconic Walter PK. They've got a big typo there. PPK, not PKK. Had been edited out of his hand, while in others, it had been cropped out entirely. In the case of A View to Kill, Roger Moore's arms looked like they'd been lengthened, cutting the gun out of frame. It's so bad. The doctored images didn't go unnoticed. No kidding. With many on social media criticizing the censorship and asserting that it was a warning of what was to come with 007 now in the hands of Amazon. Brit actor Rufus Jones from Rivals and W1A joked that the posters looked as if the newly gunless Bond was now making a rude gesture. Okay. Following James Bond Day on October 5th, which is also Foot Day here, and growing online backlash, Prime Video UK has now stealthily, much like the super spy himself, not so much, has now removed the controversial artworks altogether, replaced them with stills from each film. However, it has been noted online that none of the stills feature Bond carrying his gun. Prime Video refused to comment on the matter. For many 007 fans who commented online, the artwork situation may have been a troubling look to the future of James Bond, especially with the new film being readied and Denis Villeneuve in the director's chair. However, the controversy may simply have been a result of a rogue agent in the compliance department. So basically, they were like, oh, no, 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 no. Guns are bad. Okay. Guns are bad. We know he has them in the movies, but we don't want to like celebrate it. So just dumb. It's absolutely dumb. Omari, if Amazon wanted to annoy Bond fans, they could have replaced the guns with a battery operated. Oh my God. And you guys got on to me for No Square. Sean, have you seen the ads that offer AI girlfriends being advertised on Instagram? What? Oh, I have a whole ass video called The Secret Mission of Science Fiction, where I talk about how sci-fi has been warning us about all this shit for 200 years. Watch it. Breezy, who do you think the new James Bond will be? Aaron Taylor Johnson. I think that's what they're going to go with. They want someone younger. That's my guess. Risk it for a biscuit. Hello, good morning, Lieutenant Risk it for a biscuit. Ironic considering how much they promote Hassan on Twitch. I don't know who that is. I'm out of the loop. I'm a middle-aged woman who doesn't really play video games. So, Music City Soul, digitally disarmed. What a great use of alliteration. Bryce Evans, good morning. Did I miss the Brainiac talk? Nope, not yet. We're getting there. There's not a lot to talk about today, so we're just kind of like meandering. Loki, Lieutenant Loki, like how Spielberg replaced shotguns with radios in E.T. He did what now? Do I even want to know? Oh my God. He didn't even write E.T. A woman did. Yeah, it's like the worst kept secret in Hollywood. Unbelievable. Breezy says Aaron Taylor Johnson is a perfect cast. Why, thank you. Thank you. All right. Judgment Day is coming. Ensign Deranged Lunatic says instead of a gun, James Bond could be practicing safe sex with a box of Trojans instead. Well, that'll just ruin it all together, wouldn't it? I still don't know who that is. I don't really watch Twitch or play video games or pay attention to that kind of stuff. I'm old and out of the loop. I'm sorry. ASMR. Risk it for a biscuit. He's a deranged leftist who has flashed his gun on a stream and called for terrorism. That is horrific. How does he still have a platform? That is absolutely horrible. Hate to hear that. Hate to. Breezy, how do you think Thor will react when he sees Loki as the god of stories and doomsday? Proud. I think he might cry. That's why Thor's crying. He's proud. All right. If you have any questions, comments, emotional outbursts about the Amazon stuff, leave it in the chat below. We're moving on. So a couple of things before we get on to Brainiac. We are on to DCU now. On to DCU. Sorry. So this guy met Andy Muschietti and talked to him. He goes by this handle here. I don't know how legit this is. All I know is that he says he spoke to Andy Muschietti. And so take this with a grain of salt. You know how this stuff goes. All right. Anywho, he claims that Andy is still directing the film. He is aware a writer is attached. Well, I freaking hope so. He's a director. He should know. And it will not go into production, probably not until after 2026. I am out of coffee. What is going on here? Good morning, Ensign Backyard TARDIS, Red 5 brother. So, listen, after the mess that was The Flash, I'm not excited about Andy Muschietti doing Brave and the Bold. I'm just not. And I'm shocked, honestly, genuinely shocked that they would keep him on after how horrible The Flash turned out. Not just how badly it did financially speaking, but visually a nightmare for the senses. Just an absolute disaster for insight and sound. Just terrible. So no, top to bottom, the writing was terrible. Just terrible. The acting, not great. Ezra Miller is a problem. All right. The CGI was horrific to behold. There were spots where you could see the lace from Michael Keaton's wig. Listen, you could not see the lace from my wig last Friday. And I'm just a low rent special effects artist with a low budge YouTube setup. And I could cover that up. No problem. And so you're telling me the best shot you had, the lace was showing, and you put that into the film. And then let's talk about that nightmare fuel end of the multiverse, like the spheres with the different, that was just dumb. It was lazy, it was weak, it was dumb, and it was disrespectful to all of those actors that have passed on. Like even Nick Cage said, I actually filmed that. Like, what? Glad I didn't blink. I would have missed it. Nicolas Cage talks shit about it. What does that tell you? So that film was so bad and did so bad, and yet they kept him on and put him in the captain's seat for their first Batman movie. That just felt like a really dumb decision. Like, dumb. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. James Gunn stated he loved The Flash. James Gunn had just taken over the DCU. Just taken over. Him and Peter Safran, co-leads, running the studio. He didn't make the movie. At no point was he in charge of the movie. However, the moment he took over, it was his responsibility to sell that movie and make it make money. And also his responsibility to make that studio make money, or he would not have a studio to be in charge of anymore. So he's trying to put lipstick on a pig. He's saying, yeah, this movie's great. It's my favorite superhero movie. He pays Stephen King and Tom Cruise to say it. Didn't help. He knew it was shit, but it's going to fall back on him no matter what, even though he didn't make it. There are still people today who believe it is James Gunn's fault that movie was awful. Hello? No. No, that was totally Hamada's territory back then. That is Andy Muschietti's fault. I don't care. I've had people fight me on YouTube and Twitter. Look at this. Look at this. Gonna need a super chat so I can get a new arm. I've had people fight me on Twitter and YouTube saying that it's not entirely Andy Muschietti's fault. He's not the only one making the movie. He's the one in charge, pal. I don't know how you've missed this, but the director is the one who has the vision for the film. And everyone else who's working on the film, their job is to bring to life the director's vision. From special effects, makeup, hair, costume, even the actors, it is their job to enact the vision of the director. And it's the director's job to say, yep, that's great, I'll take it, or nope, that's not good enough, send it back and do it again. It's his job, his say so, his thumbs up or thumbs down. It's on him. He did a shit job, and now they're keeping him for another movie. Are you kidding me? No, thank you. Nah. Nah. Risk it for a biscuit. But you're an actual pro with proper experience. Thank you. And I actually was trained by an amazing mentor. Seriously. Oscar-winning mentor. Sean Stackhouse, to be fair, the Batman stuff in The Flash was pretty decent. I think the problem with The Flash is the WB meddled in it too much. They have a history of this. They CGI, makeup, studio was not involved with that. The studio didn't come down and like on the face. Like they didn't do that. They didn't come in on their keyboards and go that did not happen. No. It was shit all the way around. All the way around. And I blame Walter Hamada. I blame Andy Muschietti. I blame those people entirely. That one was not on James Gunn. He was handed a really shit situation and had to try and make lemonade out of it. So he did a terrible job of that too. God. Weed the people. James Gunn was being nice. James Gunn was trying to make a buck. He was trying to save his job that he just got. That's what happened there. Loki, another Predator Badlands trailer just released. FYI. It's okay. Sean Stackhouse. Okay, you convinced me. He shouldn't direct Brave and the Bold. No, he shouldn't. No. I dare say he should even be allowed to direct children's television at this point. He needs to go back to school. Dom, unless he had his arm twisted by the execs to make it bad. Like, I want you to take this right here and just and no, don't glue that down. Don't glue that lace front down. Just leave it. No, put that stippling brush down. You don't need it. You don't need the stippling brush. No concealer. It's fine. Bryce, I want to believe that Andy can make amends with comic book fans after that debacle of a movie we dare never mention ever again. Yeah, sadly, The Brave and the Bold might be the first flop. I'm very concerned about it. James Gunn should direct Superman and Batman as they are the main superheroes of the DC branding. That is a thought. You love my reenactment? I should do more. I'll do more. Sean Stackhouse, James Gunn doesn't know that Kara is older than Cal, so imagine him trying to comprehend the Speed Force. Good Lord. I can't even. I'm breaking out into sweat just thinking about it. Well, it's Michael Keaton's fault for losing so much hair. We got to move on. We're like almost an hour in. I'm out of water, and it's not like I have assistants who can just like zip zap me some. I don't have the flash here to refill my water. So Dom, if they demanded reshoots and didn't give them enough time and money. Again, there's a saying in the Army, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. If you rush things and you do things all hectic and stuff, like, of course it's going to look like shit. So I really don't know what to tell you. If you want something to look good and you're willing to give it the quality it deserves, the attention it deserves, it's going to look good. But you have to give it the time, the patience, the energy, your attention that it deserves. If you don't, it's going to look like shit. Ansuho says, I was hoping we'd see 20s Bruce Wayne and young Dick Grayson as the Robin, and that we'd see Bruce learning to develop his parental side. And after all, Bruce and Dick are still considered the dynamic duo. We're getting Damian Wayne. I know this is an unpopular opinion, but Damian Wayne is my favorite Robin. Why? Because he's a little asshole. He is the complete and total polar opposite of Bruce. He is everything that Bruce is without any of the emotional discipline at all. He had everything just kind of handed to him, and he was told that he was like this great chosen one. He's going to lead the Legion of Shadows and blah, blah, blah. And he was raised to not hold back. That murder's fine. But Bruce is the epitome of human restraint, superhuman restraint, emotional restraint. And so seeing them together, seeing them each kind of teach each other is such a really awesome dynamic to read about and see. I really enjoy that. I love Damian Wayne Robin. I love him. I do. And I'm looking forward to it because Bruce, all this time, he's raised, and I mean, it's a really hilarious concept. If you think about it, this guy keeps fostering young boys. He keeps adopting children and then like training them to fight crime at a young age, like throwing them into danger every night. And then all of a sudden, he basically gets a child dropped on his doorstep like, hi, so you're my dad. Now he's got his actual biological child, and he has an actual legacy. And that's important to him. Honey, can you give me some water? See, I told you guys, I don't have an assistant. Thank you. You're handsome. So, I'm excited to see the whole Robin situation. Sean says, James is a fake DC fan with surface level knowledge of the comic books. So I think he's going to keep throwing New 52 nonsense. And this is what is so concerning, is he says he wants to do Silver Age, but he's not doing Silver Age. He's doing New 52. So having all these people like hurl insults at me and say, he said he's doing Silver Age. He said he's doing Silver Age. It's Silver Age, you idiot. It's not Silver Age. It's New 52. The least popular, worst selling continuity of DC Comics ever. Thank you. You're handsome. But no, please keep doing New 52. We love it so much. Which reminds me. Better be out. I can't find it. So let's talk about the quantum unfolding chamber. Again, we will find out this Thursday who actually made the quantum unfolding chamber. And James Gunn has said multiple times it leads directly into Man of Tomorrow. And I have said he's doing Brainiac. Oh, but Danny, Brainiac's not in Man of Tomorrow. Do you think James Gunn gives two shits? Do you think James Gunn's actually read Man of Tomorrow? And if so, do you think he cares? The answer is no to all of those. In Man of Tomorrow, a janitor gets turned into Parasite. And Lobo shows up to collect bounty on the last Kryptonian man, Superman. Okay? For James Gunn, that's probably pretty boring. So it's going to be Brainiac. And he keeps saying, Peacemaker season 2 leads directly into Man of Tomorrow. So far, Peacemaker season 2 has led directly into nothing. I love Peacemaker. Season 1 was amazing. I've watched it 7 or 8 times. I absolutely love it. This season, I've rewatched maybe a couple of the episodes, and I did it so that I could be fresh to talk about it with you guys. But it just wasn't as engrossing. There's really no real story to it. Oh, but he's going to the quantum unfolding chamber, and he's going to that other dimension, and it turns out it's Earth X, and they're all Nazis. Big whoopity-doo. There's been no real antagonist. James Gunn himself said, well, the antagonist is Chris himself. Not in a superhero movie, show, whatever. Come on, dude. There has to be some real substance. Look, if you're going to have that slow of a burn in a TV series, you need to have a lot more episodes to fill that out, to answer a lot more questions and pay off a lot more stuff. If you have only 8 episodes for this season, you can't have that slow of a burn. That's why season 1 was so good. It did not have that kind of slow burn. And James Gunn himself has said he didn't want to write it. He didn't want to do it. He was on vacation, and he had to write it while he was on vacation because he just wrote Superman. He was burned out. This is definitely the work of someone who was burned out. Sean Stackhouse. Even one of the best New 52 stories, Court of Owls, is a mid compared to many previous Batman adventures. Hard agree. On Suho. Peacemaker is great, but it doesn't sit right with me that it's setting up a lot of things for the DCU. I can agree with that, especially with how it's just kind of like, it feels like the season's just starting and we're hitting the last episode. It feels to me like Daredevil Born Again season 1. Like, wait, we only have 2 episodes? What? I feel like nothing's happened. It's crazy. Okay, so someone asked James Gunn on Threads. Looks like who or whatever made the quantum unfolding chamber is smart. Even smarter than Lex Luthor. Interesting. I mean, no shit, Sherlock. What an obvious statement to make. And James Gunn says, definitely advanced, non-human. It's a Brainiac. It's entirely Brainiac. And the little creature that took it from was probably just escaping from him. Loki. He'll change his mind on it in a week when asked again. Probably. We just misunderstood him. So, I mean, think about it. Who else could it possibly be? Nobody. And he's already teased it with, he's like, oh, the script for Man of Tomorrow is done. He sends a picture of it on all of his socials, and it's like, anatomy of the human mind. Obviously, Brainiac, hinting at Brainiac. So, we all know Brainiac has access to time travel, to the multiverse, shrinking things, big fan of shrinking things. I was really hoping that neighbor was going to turn out to be like a Martian, like Martian Manhunter or something, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. However, Gunn has said multiple times, and again, you really can't trust anything he says, especially not since he's become co-head of the DCU. But he says, like, this next episode is going to be absolutely mind-blowing. It's going to be insane. It's going to be crazy. It's the craziest thing we've ever done. It's going to be insane. So, and, you know, it leading directly into Man of Tomorrow, I have a feeling that we're actually going to see Brainiac. Him pissed off that someone stole his quantum unfolding chamber thingy. We're going to see him. Maybe Brainiac is the one sending Lobo to go find it. Ma, what do you guys think? Sean Stackhouse. Is anyone else concerned how fast he wrote Man of Tomorrow? Little bit. However, that could be one of two things. One, he wrote it so fast, you know, it could be crap. Like he didn't fill it out enough. It's just too superficial. It's not, it lacks depth and complexity, which we know he can do that if he puts his mind to it. Hello, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Or he wrote it so fast because it had gestated well enough that it wanted to be written so bad that it just came out. I mean, if you're a writer or creative in any sense, then you know there are times where something wants to come out so bad that it just does. You just get into that flow, you get into the zone, whatever you want to call it, and it just falls out of your fingertips. That is a possibility. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's number 2 and not, you know, a pile of number 2. Right? Sean Stackhouse, Brainiac is not a throwaway villain. He's something you build up. That I completely agree to. And I'm hoping that is the goal with Peacemaker, the end of Peacemaker, also Supergirl. Because as you said before, and that's where I pulled the image for the thumbnail, and in my Supergirl breakdown, she was kidnapped in the New 52 by Brainiac. So there's that. There's other shows that are supposed to come out, like super secret stuff. I'm hoping Booster Gold is one of them, because remember, he has access to time travel, and they're in the quantum unfolding chamber. Anything could happen. So I still think we're going to see some Booster Gold, Lobo, maybe Brainiac. Breezy, I like how Brainiac was portrayed in the new season of Harley Quinn that was released a few months ago. Did I catch that? It got a little too raunchy for me. Maybe it's because I'm getting old. But I'm like, okay, dude, I don't need that shoved down my throat. I mean, just go make porn if that's what you're into. You know? Just go make porn. Loki, he did to offset the Batman too. Oh, poor Matt Reeves. Dom Riley. ChatGPT wrote Man of Tomorrow. No, ChatGPT wrote The Acolyte. That's how I feel. That's how I feel, and I'm sticking to it. But I do believe that it's definite. Yeah, it's Brainiac. It's Brainiac. Yeah, and we're probably going to see him. But if you have any questions, comments, emotional outbursts about Brainiac showing up in Peacemaker Season 2, leave it in the chat below. We're going to wrap this up. I got to go play golf with my man. Yeah. If you would like to help support the channel, there are many ways to do that. The easiest and freest way is by hitting that like button, subscribing if you're new, ringing the notification bell, and of course, sharing it, leaving a comment. It is engagement-driven algorithm these days. So let those algorithm overlords know that you enjoy the content I'm putting out there by leaving a comment, just saying, hey, what's up? How you doing, girl? Hanging in there? Drinking enough water? If you would like to help support the channel in other ways, because this is my full-time job and I am like half monetized. So I only get paid if you guys leave a super chat or you join as a member. So if you would like to help out, yeah, joining as a member definitely helps out, and the super chats. We are doing members only watch parties every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next few weeks, because you guys won. It's 4 weeks now. For the next 4 weeks, we will be watching Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, members only. So you have to be a member of the channel. I think Lieutenant Nerdling, at least. So check that out if you want to do that. You can also scan that QR code right there. It takes you to buymeacoffee.com/comicsandmua, and you can chip in as little or as much as you can. Every little bit helps. It helps me pay for all that you see here and all that you don't. Yeah, I meant like software and stuff. So anywho, there's also Cash App and the original official Nerdling Army over at patreon.com/comics. And you get exclusive content, outtakes, behind the scenes, exclusive chats, just like members on the channel. You get early access to pre-recorded drops. And what was the other thing? I just went full perimenopausal fog. Where am I? You get early access to pre-recorded, edited drops, and you get priority to requests for breakdowns. So if you want me to cover something in a video, your request, if you are a member of the Patreon or the channel, goes to the top of the heap. So go to patreon.com/comics. And for that, I also have a merch store over at comicsandcosmetics.etsy.com. All designs made by yours truly. My latest are inspired by the hit series on the Sci-Fi Channel Revival, which we're still waiting for announcement for a season 2. And of course, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So go to comicsandcosmetics.etsy.com for your official comics and merch. There's also my storefront on Amazon. If you need some items from Amazon, be it for special effects, comic books, physical media like TV shows, movies, whatever, go to my Amazon storefront. I have like 10 different lists. If you want me to make a list of other things I recommend, let me know. I'll make you a list. I will. I'm also an affiliate for several other things like Zenni Optical, where I get my glasses. If I can find my QR code, you go to this QR code right here. All these links are in the description below, by the way. If you go to this QR code right here, I will save you 10% on your next pair of prescription, non-prescription, or sunglasses. Get the IQ lens with Zenni ID Guard. Awesome. Okay. They filter UVA and UVB. Okay. Most of the light spectrum from the sun, as well as blue light from your computer and infrared light. So it protects your face from Skynet. Yeah, it's super cool. So use my QR code, saves you 10%. Also, there's Coors Vault, Leash Boss, CapCut, and TikTok. This podcast is also powered by the Red 5 Network. We are a collective of exclusively nerdy podcasters and content creators here to educate and entertain you. So if you like this podcast, chances are you're going to love more of what the Red 5 Network has to offer you. So check out red5.bio.link today to discover more of your Red 5 Network. Yeah. Everything I just told you about can be found on my website, comics-and.com. If you missed last week's first look for the Halloween season, I did Bride of Frankenstein, or my take on Bride of Frankenstein. Go to comics-and.com. Go look at portfolio. You'll see the look. You'll see all the looks I've ever done. Yeah. I hope you enjoy that because I enjoy doing it. I do. So, the actual aliens wrote Alien Earth. Sean Stackout. Speaking of Hercules, Lucy Lawless carried herself like Wonder Woman. She would have been an amazing Wonder Woman in live action. At this point, she'll have to play Hippolyta, unfortunately, but she was my vote for Wonder Woman. Hard agree. I agree. But that's all I got, nerds. I hope you have a wonderful nerdy day. I will see you tomorrow morning at 10 or 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be nice to one another, okay? And keep your eyes peeled, okay? Keep your eyes peeled because
Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you! Stars to Marvel.